very beautiful thing that we see here. The Yarchei Kallah that Malabatim that are misfanis b'mais yedeim go away for a period of time to learn Torah, and the emphasis, the whole lineage of Limud Torah by Balabatim in the last years has taken a tremendous aliyah. That the limud is not only a daf yomi b'tzila shitchis. I'm sorry, for English I don't speak. The last years, the limud Torah is not only learning in a superficial way, but it's learning much deeper and much more. People chazer and they know and they learn deeper. And therefore it's relevant what the Rabbeinu Yonah tells us about Limud Torah, which I think till now wasn't so relevant for Balabatim, but now it's relevant for Balabatim as well. Chazal say, Yimei derech eretz ein Torah. And Rabbeinu Yonah is mefarish as follows. So Soloimar, first, he must be metaken himself with good midos. If he's a person with good midos, then Torah can be part of him. Torah cannot live or beguf. A person who's not about midos service, he cannot acquire Torah to be part of him. He shouldn't first learn Torah and then midos. Torah will not bring him the midos Torahs. First you have to have midos Torahs and then Torah. It's important therefore for Balabatim also, in order to acquire the Torah, to know a little bit more about midos. And to work on midas. And to work on midas is very difficult. Because in order to work on midas, one must know the source of midas. I'll give you an example. The person, let's say, is a kaiser. Gets angry very easily, blows up, gets angry. He decides he's going to work on midas. He's going to work on kas. But it won't help him. If he knows, though, that the source of his kas is gaiva, and then he works on his gaiva, then the kas will go, he won't have the kas. But Kolzman is not aware what the source of the midah is, and will work on the kas itself, and on the gaiva, it'll come back and back and back. In order to know about midas, to work on midas, one must know the source of what one's problem is. But there's a harder problem in midas. Many times, a person is not aware at all that what he's doing is a result of midas grues. We find in the Psichas Yeshalim a very, very interesting yesod in koiches hamidus. Omar Osel Shachar Baderech Ari Ben Al-Choyves, a posuk in Mishlei. Then also a person who's a lazy person will say there's a Shachar Baderech, there's a leopard on the way, I can't go. The Chachomim Zichrein Levzocha Perishu Ha'inyin Kimin Choymer. They were mefarshid very well. Laharo is to show Had Heichon Magas Yiras HaHevel Lahafrish Ha'odom Miramais HaToiv. And they say as follows. Shiva Dvorim Omer Shlomo B'Osel. Shlomo said 7 things about an Osel. Ketzad. Omer L'Osel HaRav Be'ir. Your Rebbe is in the city. Go learn by him. V'Moshe answers them, I'm afraid there's an ari in the derech. A lion on the way, a dog on the way, a bandit on the way. Okay? There's no lions in the Medina. But he says, I'm still afraid there might be Bein al-Chovis, there'll be also a lion. Your Rebbe is in your house, the same binyan, your binyan. I'll find that flak. The door is locked, I can't get in. We know the door is open. Go learn by him. He has no answer. He tells them, I'm very, very tired now. I have to sleep a little bit more. And here's a very important yesod. It's not that his fear is that what's goyim him, that not to do the act, because he's really frightened. His laziness causes him to be fearful. Now then he tells us a tremendous yesod in Psichas HaNefesh. A person wants something. He wants to do something which he himself is ashamed to be moide that he wants it. Because it doesn't pass for a person like him to want such a thing to do. So if he can develop in himself a certain type of emotion, which that emotion requires him to do that act. In order for to like in this situation, he didn't want to go to learn. That caused it, but he didn't want to admit I didn't want to go to learn. So in order for him to justify his not going to learn, it develops in him, he can, subconsciously, he will develop in himself a real fear. And you tell him, you're not really fearful. He'll say, I am fearful, and he is fearful. He really has fear. He really feels fear. But that fear is a result of a wanting not to learn. And it happened many times in yeshiva. Bochum come to me, they're very, very tense. And they have to have a couple of days off, to relax, and then they'll come back and they can learn better. So I tell them, your tension is because you want to go. You don't want to be here. You want to take off a couple of days. So you became tense. But if I can't convince them, so I let them go. And that when I come back and they don't learn at all better, just worse than before, so I prove to them that wasn't the reason why they wanted to go. And that's l'maisa very, very important yesod by people. A person should know that sometimes he has all kind of feelings which justify what he's doing, and really it comes from midas luis, the midah of atzlus or gaiva, whatever it might be. That's what's causing. That's a very important point to know. We find in the parsha which we're learning Kisisa of the Egel, we find a very, very interesting kliyokor. The kliyokor says, he brings a chazalim, that the Egel was a resultant of the machlokes which was between the kinna and sinner, which were between the shiftei kor by Yaakov Avinu, that eventually caused the Egel. And he explains the reason. He explains it that the same kinna, which was by Koirach later on against Moshe Rabbeinu, that was the cause of the Egel. That there were people there that were mikana that Moshe Rabbeinu was the leader, and therefore that caused them to make all the various things that they saw and so on. Now, we know that's not, we see Chazal not like that. Chazal tell us that they made a mistake in which day it was. Chazal tell us they saw Moshe Rabbeinu dying, all kind of things. So how does the Klei Yaakov say that it would be Kinus? The answer is this. The Shirish was Kinus. And they weren't made to themselves, they were Makana. They had to have some sort of justification to do what they were doing. They weren't ready to tell Moshe Rabbeinu, we don't want you. They had to have a justification to do it, and therefore, because of the Kinus, that caused them to make a mistake about the day, that caused them to see all kind of things. That's a very important point. It's a very interesting story. It's a story in a pshat. The Gemara says that Mori Barukva, I think, was machmir to sit shiva on his brother-in-law. And Abavu came to him and he asked him, "Tzudnaisa adbosa?" Tzudnaisa was the sudas of havodah which one makes rachmasan by a novel where he comes back. They say a little suda. So what was the pshat? So out of Fatay's the pshat that what happened was what happened with the story was. It was the story before this. In Slabodka, Shavuos in the morning, after learning the whole night, they used to serve cheesecake, which was a very big delicacy in those days. They made a kiddush with cheesecake, and the altar was there, and the yeshivas were there. And the altar got up and said, "I'm a supik. How much you learned, but such how smart it was that later in the morning when you eat the cheesecake, you feel justified to eat the cheesecake. I deserve it, because I learned so well at night." At that time, sitting there was Rabbi Zalman Meltzer. And Rabbi Zalman told the altar, "What do you want from the Bochum? They learned at night well. Give it to them. What is it?" So the altar said, brought down this Gemara about Tzudnaisa adbosa. And he said, the pshat in the Gemara is as follows. This is about this Roman Bar Choma or Barukva was a person who only ate Sudas mitzvahs. He only ate Sudas mitzvahs. And he says that deep down, since he never ate only Sudas mitzvahs, he was looking to find a way to have another Sudas mitzvah. And therefore he made himself the chumrah of brother-in-law today for the Sudas. So that's why Tzudnaisa adbosa. You want to have it Tzudnaisa. So the Alter said, if you can say that on an Amoira, we can say on the Bochum the same way. So they wanted the cheesecake. But here we see here examples of what a person has to know from where he's coming. Where's the shayrish of what he's doing? The Alter had with this once Kallah. I don't know if you know what Kallah was. Kallah was like the super place, the super Moka Musa. The Alter learned there by the Alter Mikelem, and all the Torah Musa learned Alter Mikelem. Once the Alter was there visiting in Kelem, and the police came. They had something they did wrong, and they wanted to lock up the Rosh of Kelem. So the Alter said, "I'm the Rosh," and they locked him. They took him to the police station. So the Alter said later on, "I'm a supik. How much was my hanor of saying I am the Rosh of Kelem? How much did that play a role in what I wanted over here?" I'll give you examples of people of the Balei Musa, how they went into the depth of their actions and tried to find what was the shayrish of what they were doing. And that's what we have to do. In Cain, just one more example happened here in Bnei Brak. A couple of years ago, there was a bar mitzvah, and the father gave out candies to the children over there. The candy had a hechsher, which was a perfect hechsher. But it wasn't a tap. It was a tap, but not tap. But it was a very, very good hechsher. Certainly for children, there was no problem at all. But the oilam was there a cloud, you used the tap extra. So somebody got up there, gave a clap. Rabbi said, I want to tell you the Kenya they gave out. I'm not saying anything what to do, but it doesn't have that extra. Now, once somebody made this remark, so everybody went away and took away the candy from the child. So when I heard the story, I asked him, tell me, did the father ever have a problem with the father of the bar mitzvah, ever have a problem with this person, the tzaddik who gave the clap? And they told him, yes, and a half a year ago, the father of bar mitzvah was a gabbai in a shul, and he gave him an aliyah which he wasn't to his liking. This person gave the clap, thought he was doing gewaltige meister tzidkis, and in reality it was pure, unadulterated nekoma. That's what it was simply. And that's what we have to always judge and look and see from where are we coming from. So the question then is, how do we do this? We don't know. How can we live? Wherever we're doing, how do we know? And the answer is, the shaylish of midas rois is another, is gaiva. And the way to fight midas rois is another. If a person is an onav, then more or less he can be satisfied that what he's doing is coming from the right place. But to work for onav, you must know what are the simon of onav. I'll just tell you a few things which say in the Salvovis, in the Sadikim, examples. We already mentioned kas. We already mentioned the koma. There are two examples of gaiva. Who I think kinna. If a person has kinna, you should know that the shaylish is there, that he has there missing in another. Moida le'emes. Some people cannot be moida le'emes. They have to be right all the time. That's also another example that the person is missing in another. If another person, something very good happened to him, and you can't be happy for him. You're not, you can't be happy. That's a song. That's a simple lack of another. If a person is not mistapik b'muit, he wants to have more money. He's not mistapik b'muit. That's a simple. There's also a simple. The word of a gaiva means li novo silo. It's coming to me praise. It's coming to me riches. It's coming to me this. It's coming to me this. It's coming to me. Another means nothing is coming to me. Once a person has a feeling it's coming to me, then everything bothers him. And another example is, the last example, if savlonus, you sit with a person and he does certain type of funny emotions. I can't sit next to this guy. That's a son of another also. All of these things, and there are more things. The person will learn in Chayvas Avovis, Shara Kniya, from Perik Dalit or Perik Hey on, to find there all these situations which another causes, and then a person can see it on himself. The same Chasadikim had the same thing in Shar Gaiva or Shar Anova, and then a person can see. This is the way a person can work on his midas, work as another, and then from that he more or less will come out to have midas toivos, and the Torah that will be learning will be part of him and make him higher and higher. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should help us all that we should be able to learn and have midas toivos and reach the highest madregas in Kiddush Shem Shamayim and K'vod Shamayim.